2. Hello everyone! My name is Nicole Kohr. I am a 29-year-old cystic fibrosis patient, a bilateral lung transplant recipient as of 2019, and I am so excited to be here representing Fall Risk the Musical, of which I am the creator, book, and lyrics, and announce that we are starting Theater 101 classes. The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation made this possible by awarding us the community grant, which allows us to rejuvenate all of our past community projects. We put out a community survey, the entire Fall Risk team, and we asked the community, what do you want from us? And one of the top requests was for some kind of theater program. We wanted to cater to our in-person audience and our virtual audience. So for now, we're going to have a few videos. And if you guys are digging the videos, perhaps we'll do a live session. We're exploring all the different opportunities on guest hosts we can have and all the different material we can present to you. There's so much for Theater 101. But for now, you're going to have me as your theater guide. But some of you are probably like, who are you? So here are some of my qualifications. So my first theater class ever was back in 1998 at George Street Playhouse. From there, I did a lot of camps, theater camp. I did the Villagers Theater summer camp. I started off in the Littleville section, then the kids section, then the teen section, so on and so forth. That was very fun. Theater camp is a blast. So from there, I learned all of my Theater 101 material, and I was hooked. From there, I started to explore a lot of community theater. So one of my first community theaters was Villagers Theater in Somerset, New Jersey, and I started off in their black box, doing some kid-friendly family productions. Then from there, I started to dabble in playwriting. I was so infatuated with being on stage, I figured maybe I should explore being off stage as well. So I wrote some of the camp productions, definitely a lot of school plays, and some class plays as well. That was always fun. And forcing all of my non-theater friends to put on some of my theatrical works was always a hoot. Great for people watching and for blackmail later in life. I was always the playwright and the actor and the producer, and sometimes even the set and costumes. From there, I started to dip my toes in the New York pool, which was so much fun. New York made me react with like a fiery heart, sprinkles in my eyes, like a woo, just the city is the place to explore the theater. So I did a variety of things. Two of the most notable class-wise were Broadway Dance Center. I explored jazz, ballet, and tap. Tap the most minimally, surprisingly. And then I also took classes with Diane Harden, a notable Broadway coach. With her, I explored theater, classic acting, and musical theater. Those were two of my favorite. Then I also did some commercial works. I did a funny video, Mommy Time, which a lot of my friends are familiar with. I did that with Julie Klausner. She does a lot on Hulu now, I believe. And I also was able to do SpongeBob. That was a lot of fun. That was a fun commercial work. Then I started to dip my toes in different theaters around New Jersey. And Circle Players was a really fun one. We did a lot of shows that were meant for a cast of like 4 people and an audience of like 50 people, but we would have like a 20-person cast. And then I ended up back at my home theater of Villagers a lot. I did the main stage productions, the Teensville productions, on and off stage. And the love of my life ended up being a production by Tina Lee, a great friend of mine. She made the My Name is Matthew program, and it was for an audience of disabled children. It was typically a Christmas show, of which I was a cast member for many, many years, and it was so inspirational. That was my first exploration of bridging the gap between theater and disability. Probably explains why I'm doing this now. Fall Risk the Musical, specifically, follows my journey as a cystic fibrosis patient, a transplant recipient, and performing artist. It started off as a bunch of journal entries. You know, for me, writing and storytelling was always a coping mechanism, especially because I spent so many weeks, months, years in an isolated hospital room. It was just something to do, something to distract myself. If I couldn't be on stage, I was going to write about the stage, or write for something that could be on the stage. Theater, the many platforms of theater. When I became a senior in high school and I had to decide on my college career, the goal initially was to pursue a BFA in musical theater. However, my lung function was declining at the time, and so I decided to pursue public relations at King University's College of Communication, Journalism, and Media. So over time, all of these lyrics and journal entries that I wrote in real time about whatever emotions I was feeling or whatever I was going through chronic illness-wise, it ended up becoming the plot structure of Fall Risk. And that's why there have been so many adaptions, because as I keep continuing in my journey with CF, we keep adding to the plot. And so we finally reached a point where we can theme and streamline. I remember the day that I got the email from the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation back in 2019 saying that Fall Risk and our project was the winner of the Impact Grant Award. It was May 31st, 2019, the day before my wedding. I was sitting in David's bridal, or one of those, because we were picking up my husband's tuxedo. And the email said, "Congratulations." And I remember standing up, which was a rarity at that point because I was on full oxygen and barely standing, and saying, "I got the grant!" And we all celebrated. And then the next day at the wedding, a lot of my theater friends were in attendance, so we were celebrating. It was fantastic. I ended up getting my bilateral lung transplant 13 days later on June 14th at the University of Pennsylvania Hospital. And by August 1st, we were basically in pre-production. One of my best friends, Nicole, who was a producer during the stage reading and workshop phases, she visited me at the Gift of Life family house where I was recovering from my transplant, and we took all of the press photos. So a lot of those original photos that you see of these Fall Risk shirts were just a few weeks after my transplant and a few weeks after we were awarded the grant. It's just amazing how many people have committed their time and passion to this production, which in itself, within its plot, is an awareness campaign for CF, but we wanted to continue to include the community, which is why we're so excited to do videos like this. No, but seriously, I'm so excited to see you. The theater. For any other questions relating to Fall Risk, visit fallriskthemusical.com. The first thing that I would like to do today is introduce you to the things you'll need in this class. The first thing you'll need, hydration, preferably water, but if you would like to start off with some kind of caffeine beverage, I'm not here to judge. You should also bring your pet, because they're probably going to be on camera with you, right, Goods? She's sleeping. What other things should we bring? Oh yeah, you. Take the time to pretend we are all standing in a big circle, making awkward eye contact. Let's introduce ourselves. I'll go first. Hey everyone, my name is Nicole Kohr, and I am 29 years old. I am here today because I'm in charge of this class and I have to be. Okay, now it's your turn. Say your name, a fun fact about yourself, and why you're here today. Thank you so much to STROLO University and the Cystic Fibrosis Lifestyle Foundation for this collaboration. Theater is such a fun and healthy way to express yourself, to have a creative outlet, to get those feelings out, to vent, and just to feel silly and goofy. It breaks up the trauma, and we are here to help cystic fibrosis patients have a more healthy and active lifestyle.